Hello my friends, in today's video we will take a look at Zhiyun CINEPEER Crane 4E. The Crane 4E follows the same recipe as the Weebill 3E. It offers excellent core performance of the Crane 4, omits some features and accessories that not everybody needs, it adds some grey accents, and importantly offers an excellent value. In this video we will take a look at the performance and the features of the Crane 4E in combination with Panasonic S5 II. The form factor of the Crane 4E is identical to the original Crane 4. Both use the usual crane style configuration with a vertical arm and both have the base which stores some of the batteries. Crane 4E weighs 1.63 kilograms, so it is slightly lighter than the regular 4 by about 40 grams. Zhiyun does not disclose set payload capacity, but it is safe to say that it will work with pretty much any reasonable setup, including smaller cinema cameras. I have tested a Crane 4 with Sony a7 IV and Sigma 24-70mm f2.8 with magnetic variable ND filters. This combination weighs about 1.5 kilograms, but it is quite front heavy. This kind of setup is still a piece of cake for Crane 4 and 4E. I have recently tested the 4E with Panasonic S5 IIX with 14-28mm f4 to 5.6 to try something on the lighter end, and that worked great as well. The add-on sling handle is compatible with the 4E and it is the new version with the option to adjust the wrist rest with a screw, which is very convenient. Besides the sling mode, it also works great for two-handed use. The build quality is excellent, much like with the regular Crane 4 and other Zhiyun gimbals. The arms are metal as usual and the plastics are high quality as well. The grip has very nice rubber texture. One of the cost-saving measures with the 4E is that it comes in a foam case instead of a semi-hard case that you will get with the regular Crane 4. The amount of accessories is also down to the basics. It comes with a table tripod, Manfrotto-style plate with a razor, and cables for connecting the camera with the gimbal and for charging. Not everybody will need more advanced accessories, and some people also prefer to carry the gimbal in a backpack, for example, so I like that Zhiyun is offering this option. Crane 4E is exceptionally easy to balance. Tilt and roll axes use levers instead of screws, which makes the balancing faster. The arms have some kind of low friction coating, which also makes them easier or smoother to move. Heavy-duty gimbals are usually easier to balance than smaller gimbals because the margins are larger, and that is also the case with the Crane 4E. The locking mechanism is available on all three axes, of course. The locks have proven to be very solid on the Crane 4, so they will definitely manage more than fine during the balancing process and also the transportation of the 4E. Much like all modern gimbals, the Crane 4E has an auto-tune function and it is very reliable. As I've explained in my previous gimbal reviews, some people prefer to use Arca plates instead of Manfrotto plates, which is possible with SmallRig 3061 quick release plate. It allows you to use any Arca compatible plate, including PGY Tech or Peak Design. There is also an option to mount the camera vertically. It is very easy, you just need to switch the mounting base from horizontal orientation to vertical. Vertical filming is very popular nowadays, so I'm pretty sure that this will be a very useful feature. Only the pen axis has unlimited motion range, but that is the one that matters, so that is fine. Crane 4 uses very strong motors which usually don't allow unlimited motion range. Probably the most important piece of information about the Crane 4E is that it offers the same performance as the original Crane 4. That means that it is pretty much as good as it gets. Both the Crane 4 and 4E are heavy-duty gimbals with stronger and more responsive motors and also some extra weight which stabilizes the whole setup. These heavy-duty gimbals are generally more forgiving in comparison to lighter gimbals such as the Weebill 3S. Going forward, I have decided that I will be primarily testing gimbals with Panasonic S5 II because it is more representative of more effective in-body image stabilization systems that can be found in the latest hybrid DSLMs. These new generation IB systems can help the gimbal a lot more with up and down movement, which is not stabilized by any 3-axis gimbal. The result is very smooth footage with a lot less effort in comparison to smaller gimbals. I've also tested the original Crane 4 with Sony a7 IV, which has less effective in-body image stabilization, but the footage was still great. I was also very happy with the panning smoothness. Crane 4e offers unlimited joystick settings in the app or on the display, so you can achieve your desired panning speed very easily. Overall, the performance of the Crane 4e is as good as it gets. I can say that it matches the results that I was getting with Crane 3S whilst weighing almost 1 kg less. The display on the Crane 4 is a 1.22-inch touchscreen carried over from the Crane M series. Fortunately, my only complaint about the Crane 4 was completely fixed. Previously, it was possible to change parameter settings through the display, but you could only choose from low, medium and high. Now you can access full parameter options with 0 to 100 settings through the display on the gimbal, which is great. The ergonomy is the same as with the Crane 4 and therefore mostly carried over from the Weebill 3S. The grip is sufficiently thick, which is pretty important at this kind of weight. The joystick, the recording button and the mode button are placed in the reach of your thumb, which means that you don't have to loosen the grip to reach it. It works very well for me personally. The mode button lets you cycle through 3 base follow modes, and double press it lets you cycle through POV, Vortex and Portrait mode. There is also a trigger button and a controller wheel on the opposite side. There are basically 7 follow modes on this gimbal. There is the pan follow, where the gimbal follows your movements in horizontal axis. Pan and tilt follow mode follows your horizontal movements and tilting of the gimbal. In the locking mode, it will just keep the camera pointed in one direction. In the POV mode, it follows all axes, so panning, tilting and rolling. The Go mode is basically a sports mode where the gimbal follows your movements faster. Of course, you can enter selfie mode by triple pressing the trigger button, and you can reset the gimbal position by double pressing the trigger button. The Vortex mode for vertigo effect is available in the menu. One specific feature of the original 4 that is not available on the 4e is the integrated fill light. That is probably more of a niche feature, so I would say that it is a reasonable cost-saving measure. On the other hand, it still has all of the follow focus connectors. Crane 4e still uses the ZY Play app, which is very reliable. It offers comprehensive settings, including those full parameter settings that I have mentioned. It works great as a remote control, and I haven't had any issues with firmware updates. The Crane 4e uses 4 18650 batteries. Those should provide 12 hours of runtime. That is again the same as with the Crane 3S, despite much lower weight. 12 hours is a lot more than any operator can withstand, so the battery life is more than sufficient. It uses power delivery standard to charge the batteries, and that can be done in less than 2 hours. To sum up, Zhiyun Crane 4e is an excellent heavy-duty gimbal, much like the original Crane 4. In terms of the performance and smoothness, they are the most capable gimbals that I've ever tested. If the smoothness, reliability and predictable behavior are among your top priorities, you should definitely shortlist the Crane 4 and 4e. The CINEPEER version omits the LED fill light, and it comes with fewer accessories at a lower price point, which is in my opinion a fair offer. My only complaint with the Crane 4 was the lack of complete parameter settings on the gimbal display, but that has been completely fixed, so now I don't really have anything to complain about. The Crane 4 and now also Crane 4e are the 2 gimbals that I personally use for my videography outside of the channel, and I am very happy with both, which means that I can highly recommend them. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.